like to sing Jai Radha Madhava until Prabhu comes? Prabhu, that's it?
Yes.
turn on the machine in that room.
Ah, ja. Du meinst die Anlage?
Ja.
Thank you, dear brother, for singing. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30th, entitled Activities of the Prachetas, the verse 33. Yavat te mayaya sprishta brahmama iha karmabhi tavat bhagavat prasanganam sangha syan no bhave yavate mayaya sprishta brahmama iha karmabhi Tavad bhavat prasanganam Sangasyano bhave Yavate mayaya sprishta Brahmama iha karmabhi Tavad bhagavat prasanganam Sangasyano bhave Yavate mayaya sprishta Brahmama iha karmabhi Tavad bhavat prasanganam Sangasyano bhave Yavate mayaya sprishta Brahmama iha karmabhi Tavad bhavat prasanganam Sangasyano bhave
Yavate maya sprishta
Brahmama iha karmabhi
Tavad bhavat prasanganam
Sangasyano bhave Yavate mayaya sprishta Brahma iha karmabhi Tavad bhavat prasanganam Sangasyano bhave. So we will read the verse by word translation, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Yavat, as long as te, your, mayaya, by the illusory energy, sprishta, contaminated, brahmama, we wander, iha, in this material world, karmabhi, by the reaction of fruitive activities, tavat, so long, bhavat prasanganam, of your loving devotees, Sangha,
Sangha,
association,
association,
Syat,
Syat,
let there be,
let there be,
Na,
Na,
our,
our,
Bhave, Bhave,
Bhave, Bhave,
in every species of life.
every species of life.
Translation. Dear Lord, as long as we have to remain within this material world due to our material contamination and wander from one type of body to another and from one planet to another, we pray that we may associate with those who are engaged in discussing your pastimes. We pray for this benediction life after life, in different bodily forms and on different planets. Purport. This is the best benediction that a devotee can ask of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Stane stitih shruti gatam tanu van manobihi. Bhagavatam 10:14-3. One may be in one position or another according to destiny, but in any case, one must continue to hear about the activities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord, regardless of circumstances. A pure devotee does not pray for liberation or for cessation of the cycle of birth and death, because he does not consider that important. The most important thing for a devotee is getting a chance to hear about the pastimes and glories of the Lord. The devotees who engage in the service of the Lord in this world will have the same opportunity in the spiritual world also. Thus, for a devotee, everything is in the spiritual world, for as long as he can hear about the pastimes of the Lord, or wherever he can chant, the Lord is personally present. Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti mad bhaktah. When the pure devotees assemble to chant, hear and talk about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the place where they assemble becomes Vaikuntha. For the devotee, there is no need to pray to the Lord for transferal to the Vaikuntha world. A pure devotee can create Vaikuntha or Vrindavana anywhere, simply by chanting the glories of the Lord without offense. The Prachetas pray for an opportunity to hear of the glories of the Lord in every form of life. Bhave, Bhave. A living entity transmigrates from one body to another. The devotee is not particularly eager to stop this process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahaituki Tvahi. My dear Lord, life after life may I be fixed in your pure devotional service. Out of humility, a devotee considers himself unfit to be transferred to the spiritual world. He always thinks himself contaminated by the modes of material nature. Nor is there any need for a devotee to ask to be freed from the modes of material nature. Devotional service itself is in the transcendental position. Therefore, there is no question of asking for this special facility. The conclusion is that the pure devotee is not anxious to stop the repetition of birth and death, but is always eager to associate with other devotees who are engaged in chanting and hearing about the glories of the Lord. Yavata mayaya sprishta brahmamaiha karmabih tavat bhavat prasanganam sangasyano bhave bhave. Dear Lord, as long as we have to remain within this material world due to our material contamination and wander from one type of body to another and from one planet to another, we pray that we may associate with those who are engaged in discussing your pastimes. We pray for this benediction life after life in different bodily forms and on different planets. Nama Sankirtana Deshtre Prabhukamine Tedicham Sashastram Saritari Om Gyana Timrandasya Gyana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militamina Tasme Shigurave Namaha Kankaroti Vachalam Pampunale Tegirim Yatribatamaham Vende Shigunum Dinatarinam Panchakalpaturubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thanks for everyone coming here. Today we have very nice verse that make me thinking about several things important for my own spiritual life, and I would like to share with you. I feel really grateful to have chance to stay 2 weeks here with devotees in this our Zurich temple. So some field was prepared that maybe I could understand something from Srila Prabhupada explained, and it was prepared through association of devotees, different interactions, and chanting together, and especially I want to say by hearing. And I was myself feeling so lucky to hear from Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj, who really inspired me a lot, who touches me personally. He was churning things within me that were not completely clear to me. He answered some of my questions that were burning in me, and he a little bit prepared me for speaking on this wonderful topic. So Srila Prabhupada says several times in this verse that the pure devotees that are always seeking for association of devotees, doesn't matter whether what is their destiny, where they're destined to be in whatever position of life. So Prabhupada mentioned several times that the pure devotees, they don't ask for any other benediction. They ask just for a benediction that they could remain in the association of devotees and hear about transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Several times was mentioned pure devotees, and then I was thinking, of course, Prachetas, they are pure devotees, and also Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj mentioned something very, very important. He said that the Lord was very much pleased with them. And then I was thinking how I could recognize, I would like to meet the person that Krishna is pleased with. I mean, that Krishna is very much pleased. Krishna is pleased with all our efforts. But I was thinking how we could recognize the person that is really, by his activities, by his or she's thoughts, feelings, attitudes, really pleases the Lord. And then I came to the verse where two things that were not, and the same point when I read it, the commentary and the verse were not clear to me about Prabhupada is mentioning pure devotees, and I felt a little bit discouraged. What is the chance for me? And that is wonderful. And the second thing is how we could recognize someone very dear to Krishna, to Lord, and then how we could try to get close to such a person or such a persons, so we could be benefited about what this verse is saying, to come together and to glorify the Lord together. And I will read the verse number 9 from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And I will read some part of the commentary because Srila Prabhupada explains quite nicely about who is pure devotee and what it means to come together and to enhance each other by speaking about the Lord, singing about the Lord, and associating together. Machita madgada prana bodhayanta parasparam katayanta chamam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. Krishna says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, pure devotees whose characteristics are mentioned here engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of the Lord. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. The symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself, and in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Once situated in that transcendental position, they can relish the highest perfection which is exhibited by the Lord in His abode. Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to the sowing a seed in the heart of the living entity. There are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe, and out of them there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, the seed fructifies just as the seed of a tree fructifies with regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahmajyoti, effulgence in the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky also that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. So what is interesting for me also, it is explained how the pure devotees, Krishna said, they are always dwelling in me, and their lives are devoted to my service. So our good chance is that if we take some service of the Lord, can take us to the platform of the pure devotional service. So this is what we are doing. We try to take some part of devotional service as our own service, and we try to do it with determination and to do it constantly. Myself, I found that if I don't do something constantly, will not get me to the beneficial result. Like if you have plant, like tulsi plant, if somebody forgets to water it for several days, any plant, leaves will start to fall and the root will start to dry and the plant will not grow anymore. The process is very nicely explained here that this Bhakti Lata seed, by the special mercy of pure devotees planted in the heart of the living entity, and should be carefully watered by the chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra purely without offenses. And Srila Prabhupada also explains in the commentary of today's verse, a pure devotee can create Vaikuntha or Vrindavan anywhere simply by chanting the glories of the Lord without offenses. So also twicely was mentioned in today's verse and also in the verse from Bhagavad Gita that I choose to read, because it's very important that we should try to chant without offenses. What we should also try to escape are offenses toward each other. And I was thinking through listening what Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj is saying, I was thinking about one thing, how we could recognize someone who is really satisfied in devotional service and who is pure. So, for example, from listening from him, asking him the question, I saw how in his life, and he explained me how he see it in his life, how he went through many turbulences and difficult situations and he chooses that Krishna helps him, and he saw it as a blessing in his life, and still we could see how he's happy, how he's in equilibrium, how to say, has very nice balance. And through conversation with him, I found it out that he must be very dear to the Lord. I want to tell you what he, for example, what he said to me, what's happened in his life. He's in Malaysia, and he said to me that he establishes few centers there. And with the biggest one, that is very huge project. At some point, everything stuck. Devotees, they make like architectural plan, everything, and they start to build halfway the project that is several millions dollars worth. And he said it's Muslim country, and at some point it came from a government. They don't have some planning permission. It's the last level permission, like that this plan is complete, and that they could finish the building that temple. And there for 3 months, devotees, they didn't, he said to me, devotees, they didn't went through that contract, whatever, that architecture made, they didn't went carefully, and they start to build. It was not approved completely. And then 3 months, he was waiting for a permission, that final permission to continue and to finish the building. And he said to me, funds were not fully made it for finishing, and with not having permission, he was not able to go and ask for the contribution of other devotees and members of our society. So he said that 3 months he was not able to sleep because of huge problem that was in front of him and in front of devotees. And he went every day in the one office that is for getting him the permission, final permission to finish the project. And the lady, she was always like prolonging that. But he said that he saw how Krishna was testing him, and also through that lady, she was very kind. And when he said, I cannot sleep, she took him to the main boss in the office, Muslim, and he came into his office and he bowed down, and he said to that Mr. Muslim man in Malaysia, I cannot sleep 3 months because this project, very important to me, cannot be finished, dressed as a sannyasi. And then when this man saw humbleness, determination, and meek position of Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj, he gave a proof. And then I was asking Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj how he saw the 3 months of prolonging, and he said that he saw that Krishna wants him to mature. And then he told me, and he told also for other devotees several times, how the Pandavas, they've been very pure. They didn't have wisdom of manipulating in unclean, polluted way in this world, because they were devotees and very close associates of Krishna. Opposite side, Duryodhana side, they were very, very manipulative, because they want to gain the kingdom for themselves and for their children and for their family members. And Krishna put Pandavas in so many difficulties. Kunti Devi also, Draupadi, Shrimati Draupadi, because Maharaj explains, and he really clarifies to me something that was not understood for me by years. He wanted them to mature. He wanted them to have a knowledge and wisdom. He said wisdom about how to act in different situations in this world that is impure, that is filled up with the people wanting to gain things for their own pleasure, and ready, from this point of view, ready to do anything. And Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj said to me that Krishna gives us the knowledge, but he sometimes puts us in the situations that we could really realize the knowledge, and that through life we could go in the mature way, because what is expecting us is really, who knows. And when we see the life of Srila Prabhupada, sometimes, so I may thank to Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj for solving my great doubt. I was thinking how Krishna, because pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada, Pandavas, Draupadi, Kunti Devi, all from their family side, they were very close associates of the Lord, and they were put in such a big difficulties. When I think about Srila Prabhupada, stolen Bhagavad Gita's scriptures, so many impediments when he wanted to buy the land, finish the projects, and I was thinking how that can happen. And Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj really solve and give me the peace in the heart, because myself, I also get too many tribulations in my life, being nobody. And I was thinking, I want evidences that Krishna is watching on me, that Krishna is taking care for me. Krishna wants us to mature. For Srila Prabhupada is different situation, because he is pure devotee, and from all dealings, and he shows us how his attitude is completely pure to satisfy the Lord and to push on the mission of his spiritual master, of our Guru Parampara, and that was that the glories of the chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be spread all around the world. And he has shown by his motives and by his actions, and he gave us the great example that we should never give up in any situations our intention to be righteous on this spiritual path. In this commentary of today's verse, Srila Prabhupada explains that whatever is our destiny, so we may have, because of our past karma, we may have that is destined that we're in situations that are really troublesome. Some devotees from my country and neighboring countries, we went through the wars and many difficult situations. Some of devotees from Balkan, they were in the first frontier, like parts, their lives were in danger. We never know what may happen, but if we are dedicated in our in our goal, that we want to stay and search for the opportunity to chant and to hear about the pastimes of the Lord, that is the most secure position we may have in this world. Srila Prabhupada says that this is how the pure devotees are thinking. Krishna maybe will put us in difficulties, and he will look into our heart in that moment. Thus we will turn to him, or we will turn to some other solutions and salvations of our problems. And this is the way also how Krishna wants us to mature. Whatever problem we have, health problem, economical problem, we should approach to the Lord as the only one who can take care for us. It's not easy to get on that level, but if we try to find good association with those devotees who have conviction that this path is perfect path, only one path, and they go with a resolute determination, if we are so much lucky to find some association of determined devotees, then this decision to always chant and hear about the glories of the Lord may appear in our hearts. When I was reading that verse and this purport, it came to my mind how much this process is so powerful. And I will read the verses. Just to see, from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that are scientifically explaining what is happening in the hearts of the living entities when we chant and hear in the association of devotees. Those verses are the light on those verses, first of all, was given to us by Srila Prabhupada, mentioning many times how this process is scientific, how it works on the heart of living entities, and how the heart is opening. So I will read those verses very respectfully. Usually I know the translation in my language, so I will read in English. Shushusho dadanasya vasudeva kataruchi syanmahat sevaya vipra punyatirtha nishevanat. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vices, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity to hearing the messages of Vasudeva. Shinvatan svakada Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridyantas tohya bhadrani vidunoti suhrit satam. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for the material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Nashta praishu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatutyam ashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and by rendering of the service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is prized with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Tadarajastamo bhava kamalo bhadayaschaye chetaitarana vidam stitvam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. Evam prasana manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha bhagavat tattva vijnana mukta sangas sajayate. Thus, established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from material association. Vidyate hridaya granti shidyate sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drishtaivatmanishvare. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive action is determinated when one sees the self as master. So wonderful verses. And I was also thinking, on our level, we are gathering here in our beautiful temple, and I was thinking, if we cannot be on that level, that we are just searching for always hearing, chanting about the Lord, listening about the glories of the Lord, that is the safest position. What we could do? We could take some part of the service and try to keep it with the right attitude. And I was thinking about something that we come to the devotional service because of different reasons. Sometimes somebody is coming because we feel sheltered to living in the temple, to join the movement, just sheltered in comparison with material world. Here we could find a peace, mental peace. Our bodily necessities are very well taken by living, staying in the temple. Someone wants to gain the knowledge, and he or she is about trying to understand the truths, spiritual truths. And I was also thinking that some of us, some of participants in our movement, they're really searching for the change that is explained in those verses from the second chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. They are waiting for the blessings, for the mercy of the Lord appearing in their hearts, so the change may occur, all material contaminations can vanish, and one can be able to chant and hear purely. And from all around we need the blessings. We need the blessings from the devotees. We are together in the temple. We need the blessing of Srila Prabhupada, of Srimati Tulsi Devi, of our lordships, Shri Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra Devi, Shri Nitai Gauranga. And I was thinking how much we need blessings from each other. And something that Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj told me when I came to him with one dilemma I had, and still I have. My dilemma was when we try to be proper, when we try to be proper in our behavior, when we try to be servants of others, when we try to satisfy them. I was thinking about my family members. And then sometimes we feel unthankfulness and ungratefulness. And then he said something to me. He said, in this material world, and I will then come to the point that we are coming in association of devotees. On the beginning we have some desires. We are not completely pure. And then we look something that our desires can be satisfied and fulfilled. He said to me, in this material world, mostly everyone is selfish to some degree. And I was looking into myself and I saw how I'm a selfish person. And he said, between them and you, mostly they will choose them in the relationships. And then I was thinking deeply about how that can be applied in the association of devotees. When we come together, we are trying to implement what today's verse is saying, that we come together, listen together, chant together, we assemble somewhere. Srila Prabhupada explains that even any place devotees come together and chant, that place becomes like Vaikunta. So temple is Vaikunta, and what is given to us is the choice that in our association, in our dealings, instead of me, I could choose you. So I was thinking what that means. That means if I'm servant, if I'm for example cleaning the floor, in material world, persons when they're cleaning the floor, they think somebody is making the floor dirty. In our devotional service, we are thinking, let me clean the floor for the lordships, if it's temple room, for the Srila Prabhupada, for the Vaishnavas, they could walk on the clean floor. I got that service in Langenthal when I was last time there. For some days I was cleaning the corridor where everyone is walking there. And it was winter time and snow was outside for some days. And then after my cleaning, the kids came from the school completely wet, from snowballing, and everything will be wet. And I was thinking, and they came by the joy in the temple, and then I started really to think how I could, before they come, I could make the floor clean for them to be said. I started to see that as the service for satisfaction of those young Vaishnavas. Personally, I'm also the father. I have a daughter, and I was trying to satisfy them by cleaning the floor nicely. So, what I wanted to say, when we do our services here in the temple, of course we want to satisfy the Lord, but we also want with our services to satisfy each other. And I feel myself very, very fortunate if I could And I could meet so many times devotees who are always there for the pleasures of others by their own services. Whatever they're doing, they know we are together, we are just handful of people. In comparison, what is material world? Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj, he said, you are chosen, he said for us, that we are chosen. It's handful of us here. And instead of me, I should choose you. I mean, that I don't look to satisfy myself, that I'm important, that my, how to say, what I'm doing is more important than you are doing. I try to see your needs. I'm speaking about other devotee, to see your need that is maybe not fulfilled, to see something that can make you peaceful, that can make you happy. I'm not best in that, but I see some devotees that really inspires me by their attitude of selfishly serving the others. And that really goes with what Srila Prabhupada explains. Such a place can, with such attitudes, if we try to make such attitudes, such a place can become Vaikuntha. And then, with loving relationships, Srila Prabhupada explains in that 9th verse of the 10th canto, if we try to enlighten each other about conversing about the Lord, and if we try to gain great satisfaction by singing together on the morning programs, attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class, whatever we are doing, to do it with I don't know how to find the right words, with happy mood, with the mood that we are happy of being together, meeting each other, meeting on the corridor, in the kirtan, in prasadam hall, in deity room, washing pots, whatever. That mood of gratefulness and thankfulness that we are in the association of devotees will make that plant, as Srila Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita, that plant, Bhakti Lata, will be watered properly. So this is that gratitude and that thankfulness. It's water we need to give. And also I was thinking, if sometimes I feel grateful, is it on my own? And I felt that if I feel grateful, I'm almost sure that that's comes from the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada and blessings of devotees. If any good feeling I could have, like appreciation for being here, most of the time I don't feel that comes from myself, that are also the blessings of devotees. And in previous verses, Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj, if I remember properly, he was reading and saying that we should pray for the proper vision, that we could have proper vision and proper attitude. And this is our good luck. Lord, please bless me that I could wish, act, and think properly. If this is the case, I feel that those feelings are your blessings of spiritual master, maybe be satisfied with me, and blessings of the other Vaishnavas being satisfied with my attitude. Also, because today is Harinam Day, I was also thinking about one thing that came to my mind after reading this wonderful verse and the commentary about creating Vaikuntha atmosphere amongst ourselves and anywhere else. Srila Prabhupada says if devotees assemble together and chant purely, that place becomes Vaikuntha. We have mission given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we go anywhere and we spread the glories of the holy name. So our good fortune is if we could do something for the benefit of others. Here in our temple we are doing so much for our own benefit, coming together, associating in a nice way. And what we could do is to go outside and sit or walk humbly and chant the holy name of the Lord. And I found it out by the mercy and of my friend who has a mission to go on Harinam with the boat in the Croatia, Bhaktiananda Tirtha Swami, he said to me personally that he needs to have some combination in his life. And one very most important part is to add the mission in everyday's life. And that's why he likes to meet devotees, to speak about topics that are deeply in his heart, in his mind, and also to go outside and to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And he said also that he feels from beginning times of his devotional service that the holy name is the shelter for him. And he wants to have the mission of going out and singing. That's why he calls us sometimes, and we go on some islands in the evening and we sing. So I feel that it's very important to add the mission that we are doing something for benefit of others, like we will do today, that we will go in Harinam. So I think then the packet is complete. To choose to behave friendly amongst each other by asking the Lord to give us proper attitude in our heart, and then with such a elevated consciousness we go and we try to help others. Hare Krishna. Thank you. If somebody has something to add, I will be happy. Or to ask or whatever.
Thank you for a nice lecture.
Hare Krishna.
What I do in the morning is I try to dedicate all my work to vision. Then I try to be easy in all my movements, and this helped me a lot to take the day.
So nice. Yes, sometimes obligations and time limit can make us little bit, how to say, not easy. I mean, that we do things in not easy way, and then maybe that service doesn't have full effect. So what you said, you try to prepare yourself to do it easy. To do it easy will bring to much more ripened result of devotional service. You're completely right. I'm sometimes in rush, what I'm doing nowadays here, it makes my mind be in rush, then my consciousness is polluted and I'm not in the proper mood that is beneficial for myself. Hare Krishna. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Mahapurush Prabhu ki
Jai.
System Marken, die ich an den Zählen für dich. Und zwar können wir das Bakterium anschauen, wo irgendwie über September schauen müssen. Aber Fibro.
Nositi samo kad čitam principu Manja, evo vidim se na svima, ne vidim slova na telefonu, ovako se vidim, zadozirata. Znači, mogu nekad i hvala, nadam se da vas nisam njaka.
sind 8 Kinder und eine Lehrperson. Das sind die 5. und 6. Klasse von Kiburg und behandeln zurzeit das Thema Jesus. Gerne würden wir ein Interview spielen zu dieser Stimme, also die würde ich gerne schon vorstellen. Das ist klar, die qualifiziert. Hast du ein Idee noch? Die Gründe werden ein Junior, das ist eine 5. 6. Klasse, die sind meistens schon recht gut. Also die Leute gut gelegt. Wieso gibt es so viele Götter in Jesus? Also wie er erzählt. Ja, das ist Schriften. Sie aber sie werden natürlich über den Hinduismus kommen. Es ist schon 4 vor. Hinduismus lernen sie halt in der Schule, aber das ist etwas Unspannendes. Aber sie wissen schon einiges, während in einer Stunde. Es kommt ein Lehrer abläuft davon. Vielleicht über Festivals, wenn sie wissen, welche Festivals sind. Die Praxis ist. Sicher, ja, wir machen die und ich persönlich meine, das ist jetzt nicht eine Tempelführung offiziell, sondern die angeschrieben sind Fragen. Aber ich würde trotzdem vorschlagen, wie bei einer Tempelführung, ich kann immer zuerst zu Fragen und erkläre vielleicht ein bisschen, ja, wie das dann ist, der Part. Es ist eine Religion, die gibt ganz viele verschiedene Traditionen. Das ist jetzt eine von mir, wie für Religion ist. Und dann ist es wichtig, sich auch zu erklären, dass Krishna, warum jetzt so viele verschiedene Formen hat, da Krishna. Also verschiedene manifestieren. Und ich benutze auch oft Karma, kennt den Begriff kennt jeder, Yoga kennt jeder. Und Avatar kennt auch jeder. Dazu muss man viel Kreativum, sonst also Spiele und Avatar. Also ich benutze immer so viele Sachen, die sie können. Das ist schon bezogen zu dieses Problem.
Was sagst du?
Also wir können immer am Schluss dann Tempo hoch und sagen, eben, durch die Tempel erklären hat, wir verehren da Krishna, Krishna ist Gott und unser Ziel ist eben durch Yoga, wenn wir wieder unsere Ziele mit dem herstellen und unser Ziel ist eigentlich irgendwie zu ihm können zu kommen, es gibt spirituelle zu einer Natscha. Und dann, wenn wir halt eher kommen, mache ich immer den Punkt über, es ist ja irgendwie im ersten Blick widersprüchlich. Ich sage, ich will ja noch Krishna, aber dann ist es so die verschiedene Formen. Dann kann ich eben, dass Krishna Gott ist nicht bestimmt wie wir, dass sich verschiedene manifestieren, mit zur gleichen Zeit auch. Und das nennt man in der Schrift Avatar. Im Wert schon Freudsauer macht jetzt zum Schauen. Ich frage ja, wenn du schon mal das Wort Avatar kennst, im Hand. Und dann frage ich mich, was heisst denn Avatar? Ja, das ist ein Film. Und dann können wir es erklären, was Avatar heisst. Krishna, Gott, wo kommt in die Welt?